How a toy bear leaked 2 million kids' voice chats. What you mean by that? They got a little spy camera in the toy?
It's such a nice, wholesome toy. We can't mess this one up.
People may be peering into your home without you even knowing it.
Who could have guessed giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet in it had the potential to go wrong?
I had no clue that this is dangerous.
So what happens when a children's toy becomes a target for hackers?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I find out there's a hacker in my kid's teddy bear, I'm grabbing the teddy bear, I'm gonna sit it down, and whenever I hear the hacker, I'm spreading my ass. It's gonna see straight ass all up in it. You wanna hack into the teddy bear? I got something. You wanna watch something? I got something you can watch.
2017, parents found out the hard way when this cute teddy bear allowed hackers to invade the lives of nearly 1 million families.
It's actually so creepy, bro.
How the hackers got into the teddy bear and the trouble they caused was a nightmare no one saw coming.
I like Visual Venture with his hat off. He looked good, bro. I like him with his hat on, but like he just looks smooth with his hat off, with the hair there, fresh cut, no glaze or nothing, but like he looked good, bro.
This is the insane story of how a toy bear leaked 2 million kids' voice chats. I'm Visual Venture, and we reached our goal of 700,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Thank you guys a ton, and we are just getting started. The ultimate hacking machine.
Go crazy. Oh.
In 2009, something was invented that made hackers all over the world very excited. It was a software called Shodan, and it was going to make hacking a whole lot easier. Although Shodan was dangerous, it wasn't locked inside a secret facility or hidden on the dark web. Anyone could use it, all they needed was a credit card. So what exactly was Shodan, and how did it make cyber criminals hack a teddy bear? Shodan is a search engine for finding unprotected devices on the internet. It scans webcams, routers, and servers online and checks if the device has a password.
Dude, imagine when like ChatGPT and all these little AI like software things start having this, bro. We're cooked. We're so cooked. They're gonna see my chat logs with ChatGPT of me asking, how do I get a bigger? My shit only 2 inches. Help me. You know what I mean? It's gonna be so embarrassing.
Once you click search, it'll bring up all the internet-connected devices in Apex, North Carolina by IP address. Let's look at this one here.
Many devices connected to the internet have weak passwords or sometimes no passwords at all. Shodan finds these vulnerable devices and lists them, making it easy to know which devices can easily be hacked. Because Shodan is so dangerous, many states made it a felony to use Shodan to collect information about a device that isn't yours, even if you don't hack the device.
But bro, they put in their credit cards. That's like the dumbest hacker thing you could do. You're paying for a service to hack. I feel like that could be just completely traced to you.
Shodan was designed to be a research tool meant for cybersecurity professionals, researchers, and law enforcement agencies. But over time, cyber criminals started using it to find targets on the internet. When hackers find a vulnerable database on Shodan, they break in, delete the data, and demand a ransom to restore it. If the stolen data is important, hackers will pay the ransom to get it back. Hackers always ask for payment in Bitcoin because it can't be traced. It leaves no money trail. Shodan became so popular among cyber criminals that it was nicknamed the hacker's search engine and the scariest search engine on the internet.
Do you know how expensive Bitcoin is? That motherfucker will get like 0.07% of a Bitcoin. You know what? Just keep my information. I don't got that type of money. Sir, you had my information. You didn't see I was poor? Get the out of my face with this Bitcoin shit.
Shodan made the internet feel like the high seas, with pirates looking for ships to capture for ransom. Then in 2015, a simple mistake by the makers of this teddy bear gave cyber criminals their biggest opportunity: a toy for the whole family. This is a Cloud Pets doll, and it was described as the best toy in the history of toys.
You are so happy.
Oh, wow.
This is the best toy in the history of all toys.
At first glance, Cloud Pets seemed like regular stuffed animals, but they had something inside that made them dangerous. Released in 2015, Cloud Pets came in 4 variations: dog, cat, teddy bear, and rabbit.
Dude, I never heard about this. I heard about Build-A-Bear, that little slime or that little ball that used to be on the commercials super late at night where the dude's just doing crazy stuff with a clear ball and he's like, oh, it was like an Orby or something. He's just, whoa. I got that one and it was just a ball. It wasn't doing anything fun. It just pissed me off. I just had a fucking ball in my hand. I couldn't even do anything. Fushigi! That Fushigi! That Fushigi! Yo, stop playing. That was fire until it wasn't when I actually had it. It was terrible. It was never fun.
Each doll was 12 inches tall with soft, cuddly fur.
You know, actually, he feels really nice. I'll give him this for £7. Like, even if this gimmick doesn't work, I've come out with a nice feeling teddy bear.
But here's the twist. Hidden inside each Cloud Pets toy was a small speaker, microphone, and an internet device that could send and receive messages.
Why?
But why would a stuffed animal need all this tech?
So the main concept of this teddy bear is so people who are far away from their families can send their families messages, and then the message is said through the bear.
Oh, that's actually kind of cute.
Sending messages through Cloud Pets was easy. Parents or family members downloaded the Cloud Pets app on their smartphones and pressed a button to record a voice message. The message was then sent to the...
Just use FaceTime? Dude, it was 2025. Wait, was FaceTime a thing in 2025? Was there colored television back then? I don't f***ing know, bro.
specific Cloud Pets teddy bear connected to that account. The child could press
2015, my fault.
a button on the
I'm a time traveler. Explain it to me. I'm a time traveler. I exposed myself. I'm a time traveler, please.
toy's paw to hear the message, and by holding the same button, they could record a reply. That means traveling parents or a deployed military member could send a heartfelt message to their child's teddy bear at home to be replayed when their child interacts with the bear.
Okay, here we go. The message we've all been waiting for.
Son, it's your father. I don't like you anymore.
When you create an account with Cloud Pets, you give it your child's name, an email address, photo, and more. All voice messages sent through the Cloud Pets doll were saved in an online database run by Spiral Toys Inc., the company that made Cloud Pets. Cloud Pets dolls were flying off the shelves and ending up in thousands of homes.
Receive a story from your dad who's far away, or a lullaby from mom every day.
Your father cheating on your mother while he's on a work business trip? Have no fear, he can talk to you through your bear.
Cloud Pets were designed to help parents stay in touch, which was a great idea. But then Spiral Toys, the company behind Cloud Pets, started making some really bad decisions that made them a target for the worst hackers on the internet. Spiral Toys didn't just sell Cloud Pets, they also kept the voice messages and customer details in a database. But keeping that data safe was going to be a problem because the company was falling apart. Spiral Toys was facing 2 lawsuits for infringement of intellectual property. Their chief financial officer was convicted of insider trading, and their top distributor canceled a huge order, leaving thousands of toys rotting in a warehouse.
Oh, their business.
The company also made bad decisions like spending $9.6 million on ads instead of securing their database against hackers. That money was also borrowed from investors. So every time Spiral Toys sold a Cloud Pet, a big chunk of their profit went to paying off the multi-million-dollar debt. The company was...
I just noticed this is Visual Venture's old setup. I think he recorded this a while ago, then he just put it out. You're not fooling me, Visual Venture. I seize you. I seize you for what you are. You's a time traveler.
So desperate for cash that when Cloud Pets sales slowed, they lowered the price to only $1, or in some cases free with the purchase of another item. Within a year, Spiral Toys lost more than 99% of their peak value until their stock price was around 0. By the end of 2016, Spiral Toys was a dying business, cutting corners to survive. And then in an attempt to save money, they did something so dumb it opened the door for hackers to come in and ruin everything. The leak. As Spiral Toys struggled, they tried to find ways to save money. One of their largest expenses was the cost of storing and protecting their customers' data. Here's where they made their biggest mistake. To cut costs, they stored customer data in an insecure database that didn't require authentication to access it.
What? Imagine if like Facebook or Instagram or something, or like Twitter decides to do this, bro. We're cooked. We're absolutely fried.
In other words, anyone on the internet could find and open this database without even needing a password. This was a ridiculous thing for any company to do. Normally, databases with sensitive data are protected by firewalls and passwords. Some companies regularly test their own databases to make sure they're secure. But Cloud Pets did the opposite. They left all their data exposed, like leaving the front door to a vault wide open. It gets worse when you realize how sensitive Cloud Pets data was. The database provided access to the email addresses, family members' names, passwords, voice recordings, and profile pictures of families using Cloud Pets toys. This included 2.2 million voice messages and details on more than 820,000 users. With this Cloud Pets data, hackers could steal identities, empty bank accounts, and even blackmail people. Maybe Spiral Toys didn't realize the danger, or maybe they just didn't care. Parents and kids continued to send messages back and forth through the Cloud Pets doll, unaware that every word they said was exposed on the internet.
See, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was gonna say, why don't like drug dealers use this to like communicate so they don't like, you know, FaceTime messages, all that's like wherever. But if you do it through a pillow pet, how they gonna know? How the FBI gonna know through a pillow pet? You know, I'm like, I got the stash, I'm dropping it off here, and it's just coming through the thing. I was like, I got the stash, I got, you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? It's smart when you think about it, but just dumb because you just said it. What you mean? Are you a secret dealer, Kenji? No. I don't deal in if, ands, or buts. I deal with absolutes.
Luckily, cybercriminals haven't found the database just yet. But remember Shodan, the search engine scanning the web for unprotected systems? It was still scanning, which meant hackers could find the Cloud Pets database at any moment. It was a disaster waiting to happen. But there was one man that could save the situation. His name was Troy Hunt. Troy had a very unique job. He was an independent security researcher and data breach expert. A big part of his job was investigating data breaches and leaks on the internet. Companies sometimes don't notice when their data has been hacked or leaked. When Hunt finds evidence that a company has been hacked, he contacts the breached company to notify them of the problem. Troy even created a website called Have I Been Pwned, which helps regular people check if their email has been involved in a data breach.
Whoa.
In summary, Troy Hunt was the guy you call when hackers are trying to steal your data. In February 2017, Troy received a message about one of the biggest data.
White guy? Yeah, dude. I mean, we don't got to make it about race, but yeah, 100%, bro. This dude, he has like all the power to do evil things, but he chooses to do good. It's just a Spider-Man ass superhero, Superman ass dude.
Leaks he'd ever seen. Someone reached out to him claiming he had a copy of the entire Cloud Pets database. As proof, the informant sent Troy a snippet containing around 500,000 records of Cloud Pets customers. Troy's first move was to check if what the guy sent was really the Cloud Pets database. Luckily, Troy knew someone who bought their daughter a Cloud Pet, so he decided to check that person's login details against the leaked data. In no time, Troy was able to locate this person's email address and Cloud Pets password. Troy also discovered more about the person, their kids' names, birthdays, and their relationship with users like your parents, grandparents, and friends were all accessible. The data was real. In this case, the data wasn't on the dark web yet. It was sitting out in the open, accessible to anyone with basic hacking skills. Cybercriminals could unleash hell if they got hold of this data. The only way to stop it was to warn Spiral Toys to secure their data, but before Troy could act, he heard something that made the situation much worse. Apparently, the guy who told Troy about the leak already sent multiple emails to Spiral Toys to warn them, and he couldn't believe what happened. In December 2016, the guy sent his first email to Spiral Toys, but the message immediately bounced back. Then he sent another email to a different Spiral Toys address.
This they don't even have emails?
And waited for a reply. Hours turned into days, but there was no response. 4 days later, he sent a third email to Spiral Toys' hosting provider. Once again, he received no reply. This was more than frustrating, it was dangerous. After hearing the guy's story, Troy realized that sending an email to Spiral Toys wouldn't help. So Troy decided to pick up the phone and call the company. That was even worse because their contact information was a mess. Spiral Toys' phone numbers went to a man who claimed he didn't work for Spiral Toys, or it randomly went to a taxi service in New Jersey. He tried to reach them through
They don't give a fuck. Yo, they don't give a fuck at all, bro.
LinkedIn, Zendesk, Twitter, and even via private email, still no response. The Cloud Pets Twitter account was also dormant. It was like Spiral Toys had vanished, leaving customer data floating in the open.
This is crazy.
In cybersecurity, there is an unwritten rule to give companies time to fix problems before going public. It's called responsible disclosure, but it became clear that Spiral Toys wasn't fixing the problem. None of the Cloud Pets customers knew about the exposed database. This meant that their passwords and emails were still active. With With over 800,000 users exposed, the fallout could be huge. Then came the last straw. Troy realized the Cloud Pets database was indexed by Shodan, meaning Shodan scanned and put it on its list. This increases the chances of cyber criminals finding it. Since Spiral Toys wasn't taking any action, Troy decided to go public. Going public with a data breach can force a company to act, but it can also let hackers know about the unprotected data.
Damn.
It was a risky move, but Hunt didn't have a choice. The moment he went public, it would be a race to see who acted first. The company trying to secure the data or criminals trying to steal it.
You know damn well the company not doing shit.
Troy crossed his fingers and blew the whistle. He published a blog post about the exposed database and notified tech websites like Motherboard and Vice. Once Vice shared the story, more media outlets picked it up and the news spread like wildfire.
Which is surprising. Who could have guessed giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet in it had the potential to go wrong?
The FBI has a warning this morning about smart toys with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth technology, saying that they could be dangerous for your kids.
Cloud Pets, because you are never safe.
Everyone, including those who didn't own a Cloud Pets doll, now knew about its exposed database. The cops even got involved, warning parents to stop using Cloud Pets dolls.
Police recommend if you do have a toy like this, turn it off and leave it in a drawer or closet.
Troy hoped the media's
Hell no, that mother is gonna come from the closet. Hey, bitch ass, let me out this closet. I know you there, bitch ass. Let me out this closet. I got your information. Let me out, bitch. Like, dude, no.
pressure would make Spiral Toys secure the database before the data was stolen. Unfortunately, it was too late. Hackers already found the Cloud Pets data. The photos, voice recordings, and emails of more than 800,000 users were now in the hands of cyber criminals. The thing everyone feared finally happened: the ransom. Cybercriminals found the Cloud Pets database and stole the data. But they didn't just steal it. They went a step further and wiped the entire database clean. In the place of the data was a ransom note demanding Bitcoin as payment to return the data. The message read, "Your database is backed up on our servers. Send 1 Bitcoin to this account and send your IP address to this email." If Spiral Toys didn't pay up, the data would be gone for good. Or worse, it could be sold to other hackers on the dark web. Apparently, 3 different ransoms were left by different hackers who each stole the data. When parents heard about the ransom demands, they were furious. They called and sent emails to Spiral Toys demanding answers. Why didn't the company protect the data better? Why didn't they tell customers about it sooner? However, their questions weren't answered because the company's emails and phone lines still weren't active. Parents took to social media to express their frustration. One tweeted, "I'm really sick of these connected toys. If your little one has Cloud Pets, there's a pretty high likelihood that your data is now in the hands of nefarious individuals." Parents were worried about the ransom, but they had a meltdown when cybersecurity experts on TV explained how much damage hackers could do with the stolen data. Since it included voice recordings from kids, hackers could use the recordings to impersonate children. They could scam parents by sending fake messages pretending to be their child in need of help. The hackers also stole email addresses and passwords. Data shows that 78% of people reuse the same password across multiple accounts.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I change mines like every month and I forget it every time and then I reset it like every month. Ain't no one hacking me because I can't even hack myself, bro. We're cooked. I am terribly forgetful. So hackers could use the stolen passwords to break into other accounts like banking, social media, and shopping websites. Another problem is identity theft. The FBI explained that hackers could use Cloud Pets data to steal a child's identity, open credit accounts, and even find their home. In a worst case scenario, hackers could use the voice recordings of parents and grandparents to contact kids, tricking them into thinking that they're talking to a trusted family member. These weren't far-fetched scenarios. They could actually happen if the stolen data wasn't recovered. The hackers were demanding a ransom to return the data. The big question was whether Spiral Toys would pay. After pressure from the media, Spiral Toys finally released a statement, but what they said just made people angrier. Parents wanted an apology and a solution, but what they got—
They're probably like, my bad, bro. All right, I'm gonna with you now later. All right, have a great one. Good luck on the data. And matter of fact, hey, listen, if you're not gonna throw out the teddy bears, you know, just feel free to, like, I don't know, just throw it out, I guess. So you can give it to us. We'll sell it again. I don't care. They don't go.
got was a series of excuses. In an official statement, Spiral Toys described the issue as minimal and said they took immediate action to protect customer data once they discovered the breach. Initially, the CEO of Spiral Toys claimed that the company never received the warnings about the leak. He said the company even checked its email inboxes but didn't find any messages from security researchers warning about the breach. That was quickly debunked by Troy Hunt, who repeatedly tried to contact them before going public. After saying that the company never received warnings, the Spiral Toys CEO changed the story, saying, "We did have a reporter try to contact us multiple times last week. You don't respond to some random person about a data breach." But Spiral Toys wasn't done annoying its victims. In a statement published on the Cloud Pets website, the company explained why it stored its customer data on an unsecure online database. The company said the unprotected database was being used for a short time during an upgrade to the Cloud Pets app. Also, that exposed database was managed by an outside company.
Yeah, right. They was like, we broke! We broke, alright? What you want me to say? The stock is falling, we try to sell this $1. We're poor.
So technically, Cloud Pets didn't screw up. This excuse only made them look irresponsible. The public backlash was so strong that Amazon, Walmart, and Target pulled Cloud Pets dolls from their stores.
Damn.
They didn't want to be associated with a company that fumbled such a serious security
Never heard of
breach.
this, though.
This was a huge blow to Spiral Toys, considering the company was already struggling to stay in business. After getting kicked out of big stores, Cloud Pets
Damn, it was lying like chat. Have you heard about this? No, never, no. The only ever bear I heard about was like a Build-A-Bear. That's it. Or Care Bears. That is it.
ended up in 99-cent stores. Someone saw it and tweeted all the compromised Cloud Pets at the 99-cent store. I like how they covered the name with a sticker hoping nobody notices. But Spiral Toys was in more trouble. A senator sent a letter to the company demanding answers about the breach. There was even a possibility of criminal charges depending on the facts of the case. So how did this crazy story end? Paying a ransom doesn't guarantee that the data will be returned, so Cloud Pets never paid it. Besides, Spiral Toys was so broke, they couldn't even afford to pay it even if they wanted to. This also meant that criminals still had the data and could use it in many terrible ways. Cloud Pets customers changed the passwords to their accounts to protect themselves. While changing passwords was necessary, it might not have been enough to undo the damage. In 2017 alone, more than 1 million children were victims of identity fraud, resulting in a total of $2.6 billion. Cloud Pets data was stolen in early 2017 and it contained kids' data. Could that be why children's identity theft increased that year? According to Troy Hunt and other cybersecurity experts, the Cloud Pets database is making rounds in the internet underground. This means that families could still be at risk even years after their Cloud Pets data was stolen.
Dude, I'm happy. I mean, I'm sorry for all the kids that got their data breached and all that, and the parents that got up for all the ransom and stuff, but I just want to say I'm happy we was broke as shit. You know what I mean? We was broke, and also I'm happy I'm not like a little kid that wanted a teddy bear. I just wanted Bionicle, so like they can't steal my data.
Surprisingly, Cloud Pets dolls are still on the market. You can buy one on websites and some secondhand retailers have them on eBay. You might even find one at a local swap meet. Prices range from the original retail value of $49.99 to $24.99, or if you're really lucky, $1. Spiral Toys Inc. has completely collapsed. The company suffered data breaches, didn't tell anyone, were held ransom, ignored help offered by researchers, allowed children's voice data to be compromised, and were pretty bad at doing the right thing all along. Maybe it was for the best that they shut down. The good news is that the Cloud Pet scandal raised awareness about the risks of internet-connected toys.
First thing you want to do is really research the product. You don't want to just buy any product. You want to make sure that you know the company, you know where they're storing your information.
Troy Hunt gave the best advice on this issue. He said if it's connected to the internet, you can't treat it like it's a child's plaything. There are very real risks involved whenever data is uploaded to a server, even if it comes from a toy. It's up to us to be aware, informed, and careful in this increasingly connected world. Visual Venture. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys check out my other video, how one hack exposed 37 million cheating husbands, right here. Love you guys. Peace.
Oh, we watched this, bro. W video, bro. W video.